This video is about final review continued. 5a. Consider the function f of x equals this, where a is a constant. Part of graph is shown below. Write down the y-intercept of the graph. Y-intercept, we plug in 0 to this function. You will get negative 0 to the fourth power plus a times 0 squared plus 5. You will get the 5, which means this point is 0, 5. 5b, find f prime of x means a derivative. So for this f prime of x equals negative x4, we do derivative, plus ax squared, we do derivative, plus 5, we do derivative. We use this formula. You will get negative 4x third power plus 2ax. Constant number will be 0. Let's go to 5c. It's known that at the point where x equals 2, the tangent to the graph is horizontal. That means the slope of a tangent line equals 0. So we have the f prime of x equals to 0. That means f prime of 2 equals 0. So we plug in 2 to this derivative function. F prime of 2 equals negative 4, 2 to the third power, plus 2 times a times 2. That equals 0. So we get negative 32 plus 4a equals to 0. Then 4a equals 32. Divided by 4, a equals 8. For 5d, find the f of 2. So we plug 2 into this function. You will get the f of 2 equals negative 2 to the fourth power plus a is 8, so times 2 squared plus 5. We put into calculator, you will get 21. Now let's go to 5e. There are two other points on the graph of f of x at which the tangent is horizontal. That means for these two maximum points, write down the x coordinate of these 2 points. If you know you're looking for the maximum points, so we plug the function into calculator y1. You can set up the window like a maximum is 30 or 50, it doesn't matter. As long as you can see this maximum clearly on the window, then you will figure out the maximum. This is a negative 221. The other will be from here is a 221. Therefore, the x coordinates will be negative 2 and 2. Let's go to 5f. Write down the intervals where the gradient of the graph of y equals f of x is positive. Gradient means f prime of x greater than 0, which means the graph of f of x is increasing. So from the graph, we know this part is increasing and this part is increasing. For interval, this part is negative infinity. Here's from 0 to 2. Therefore, the solution will be negative infinity to negative 2. And union set 0 to 2. Or you can write down inequality like x less than -2 or x greater than 0 less than 2. Both will be good. For 5G, write down the range of f of x. You will ask yourself, do you have a lowest point? That is a negative infinity. The top is the very top point. That will be 21. So the range will be y less than equal to 21, or you can write down interval notation from negative infinity to 21. This is a bracket. Let's go to 5H. Write down the number of possible solutions to equation f of x equals 5. This is a 5, so we draw horizontal line. They will cross the graph at 3 intersections. Therefore, the answer will be 3. For 5I, the equation f of x equals to m, where m is all real numbers, has 4 solutions. 4 solutions, that means you have the horizontal line, you have 4 intersections. Find the possible value of m. If you draw the line like this, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you draw the line like this is a 2, only 2. Here you have a 3. Therefore, the m will be between 5 and 21. Let's go to 6a. The equation of the straight line L1 is y equals 2x minus 3. Write down the y-intercept. F of 0 equals 2 times 0 minus 3 equals -3. So -3 will be the y-intercept. 6b. Write down the gradient of L1. We know that y equals mx plus b, so slope equals 2. 6c, the line L2 is parallel to L1, which means these two slopes equals to each other. And passes through the point 0, 3. Write down the equation of L2. When you write down the equation using this formula, so this is x1, here's y1. Your slope, that equals 2. So we write down y minus 3 equals 2 times x minus 0. Then we will simplify, that is y equals 2x plus 3. 6d, the line L3 is perpendicular to L1. You will do opposite and reciprocal. Passes through the point -2, 6. Write down the gradient of L3. So M3 equals, for 2, I do opposite. Thus you get -2. You do the reciprocal. You will get -1 over 2. So the slope for L3 is -1/2. Find the equation of L3. Give your answer in the form ax plus by plus d equals 0. Remember, a, b, d are integers. I still use this formula. And this will be x1, y1. So we have y minus 6 equals x plus 2. Slope will be negative 1 over 2. So we multiply by 2 first. Then you will get a negative 1 due to the distributive property. You will get negative x minus 2. This you will do distributive property 2y minus 12. Want to get the equal 0, so move everything to the left side. You will get here's 0. Remember, cross the equal sign, you change the sign. So x plus 2 plus 2y minus 12. Combine like terms, x plus 2y minus 10 equal to 0. This will be the solution to 6e. Let's go to 7a. 180 people were interviewed and asked what type of transport they had used in the last year from a choice: airplane A, train T, bus B. The following information was obtained. 47 had traveled by airplane. 68 had traveled by train. Then 122 by bus. 25 had traveled by airplane and a train. 32 had traveled by airplane and a bus. 35 had traveled by train and a bus. 20 had traveled by all three types of transportation. Draw a Venn diagram to show the above information. For the Venn diagram, you have to draw this rectangle. Then draw 3 circles. From this information, we do know that inside here's a 20. Then we can label here's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This is the universal set. According to the information, 47 traveled by airplane. This is an airplane. Here's a train. This is a bus. So we can write down these 4. A plus B plus C plus 20 equals 47. For train, it's a 68. So you have B plus D plus E plus 20 equals 68. Just use these 4 numbers in this circle. For bus, that's a 122. So you have C, F, E. C plus F plus E plus 20 equals 122. 25 had traveled by airplane and a train. Airplane and a train, that means you have this B and a 20 together. So we have B plus 20 equals 25. So B equals 5. This equals 5. They didn't see 25 had traveled by airplane and a train only. If when you see only, that means B equals 25. So if they didn't see only, means B plus 20 equals 25. 32 had traveled by airplane and a bus. Airplane and a bus. So 20 plus C equals 32. C equals 12. So here is 12. 35 travel by train and a bus. That means 20 plus E equals 35. E equals 15. This time you can figure out A. We use 47. A equals 47 minus 20 minus 5 minus 12. That equals 10. Then for the D, I can use this 68 minus 5 minus 20 minus 15. You will get 28. For F, you will get 122 minus 12 minus 20 minus 15. You will get 75. For G, you can do 180 minus, for bus, it's 122. Then you minus 10 minus 5 minus 28 equals 15. For drawing Venn diagram, this is how they grade in IB exam. You have to draw the rectangle labeled as a universal set with 3 intersecting clearly labeled circle. So you have to label as A, T, and B. Then the other 3 points, you have to put the correct number for the correct region. Now let's go to 7B. Find the number of people who in the last year had traveled by bus only. For 7B, it's tested on how to read this Venn diagram. Bus only, that means 75. Both airplane and a bus, but not by train. Airplane and a bus, but not by train. That means 12. This number, 12. At least 2 types of transportation. At least 2, that means this is 5, 20, 12, 15. You add this 4 number. 5 plus 20 plus 12 plus 15. You will get 52. None of the 3 type of transport, that's 15. Let's go to 7C. A person is selected at random from those who were interviewed. Find the probability that the person had used only one type of transportation. Only one type of transportation means this number, 10, 75, and 28. That means one type of transportation. So we do 28 plus 10 plus 75 over 180 will be the probability, equals 0.628. For 7D, given that the person had used only one type of transportation in the last year, find the probability that the person had traveled by airplane. Given that means total. So the person used only one type of transportation. It's this number. That is 28 plus 10 plus 75 equals 113. You know the probability equals part over total. Among 113, people, how many take airplane? That is 10. So we do 10 over 113 will be the probability we are looking for. So this will be the solution. For 7c, you can use a fraction 113 over 180. Accurate answer is better. So for the probability, depends on if your probability given in the question is a fraction, then we prefer fraction. If they give to you decimal, then we use decimal. Let's go to 8a. University students were surveyed and asked how many hours they worked each month. The results are shown in the following table above. Use the table to find the following values P. This question is about the cumulative frequency table. So 34, you add P. You will get 44, which means P equals 10. And these two adding 54 plus 2 equals Q. So Q equals 56. P equals 10 and Q equals 56. For 8C, the first 5 class intervals indicated in the table have been used to draw part of the cumulative frequency curve, as shown. On the same grid, complete this cumulative frequency curve for this data. They did to the 50, so we keep going for this 60, 50. So 60, 50. It's here, this point. Then 70, you do 54. 70, you do 54. Each is a 2. So 54, it will be here. This point. And 80 will be 56. It's this point. Then you connect smoothly. For 8D, use the cumulative frequency curve to find an estimate for the number of students who worked at most 35 hours per month. 35, you will find the 35. Let's go this way. Connect here. This will be 26. So 26 students who worked at most 35 hours. Let's go to 9A. The price per kilogram of tomatoes in various markets in a city is found to be normally distributed, with a mean 3.22 and a standard deviation of 0.84. On the following diagram, shade the region representing the probability that the price of a kilogram of tomatoes chosen at random will higher than 3.22 euro. We know in normally distributed graph, this point, that is 3.22. That's the mean. And higher 3.22 probability, you shade this area. 9b, find the price that is 2 standard deviations above the mean price. That means we use mu stand for the mean, and sigma stand for the 0.84. So we have mu plus 2 times sigma. You have 3.22 plus 2 times 0.84. You will get 4.9. 9c, find the probability the price of a kilogram of tomatoes chosen at random will be between 2 and 3 euro. We will use graphing calculator. Get normal CDF. The lower bound you put the 2 and the upper you put the 3. The mean 3.22 and a standard deviation 0.84. Then you will get 0.323. That's the probability. Let's go to 9D. To stimulate reasonable pricing, the city offers a free permit to sellers whose price of a kilogram of tomatoes is in the lowest 20%. Find the highest price that a seller can charge and still receive a free permit. According to this given information, we know the probability the x less than this a equals 0.2. So we put this into graphing calculator using inverse normal distribution. So put inverse normal distribution. Area is 0.2. This is 3.22. And 0.84 will be the standard deviation. Then you can get the 2.51. So A equals 2.51. Remember, for this area, only stand for less than. If you're looking for greater than, you have to turn it into less than. By doing this, Px less than A equals 1 minus P, x greater than A.